Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we're gonna break down the top new build communities that you guys absolutely need to hear about in Castle Rock, Colorado. Now, Castle Rock is located just about 35 minutes south of Denver, and there are so many new build opportunities, and there are so many communities being built down there as we speak. In today's video, we're gonna break down the top ones that we have a ton of clients moving to every single month, the pros and cons of each one. So by the end of this video, you should have a really good idea about which one is gonna be the best one for you. And you guys may notice I am flying solo right now. My lovely business partner, Will, is out with clients as we speak, actually touring some of these new build communities, but we wanted to get this video out for you. So while he's out handling that, I'm in the office giving you guys a complete breakdown of all of these communities so you guys can make the best decision. But stay tuned, we're gonna get into it right now. All right, guys, so diving right into it, let's go ahead and start off with number one. That is the Meadows, but specifically Blacktail at the Meadows. So the Meadows is one of the more established neighborhoods in Castle Rock. Now you may be asking, okay, but I thought this was a new build tour, new community tour. Well, the good thing is that the Meadows is positioned in Castle Rock in a way so that yes, even though it's still one of the more established, mature neighborhoods that's out there, there is still plenty of room to grow. And Blacktail at the Meadows is a Richmond community that is actually positioned on the south side of the older Meadows neighborhood, which is awesome. Now, what I like about this is that a lot of these new build communities, you just don't have the maturity of an established neighborhood. Maturity meaning just good established community centers, pools, clubhouses, a sense of community within the neighborhood, and on top of that, just mature scenery and trees and things like that. What makes Blacktail at the Meadows unique is because you're kind of an extension of this already mature neighborhood. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. Now, let's cut over to a map and I'll do a little bit of a deeper dive into what you can expect if you're moving to the Meadows and why you might want to. All right, so let's start off with where exactly we are at, and I'm going to give you guys some context based on maybe some landmarks that you're already currently familiar with from being familiar with Castle Rock or watching our videos. Right here, you can see where we've got these boundaries that are around the Meadows right here. Well, it's actually extended beyond this boundary right here, and this is the new build community that I'm referencing, Blacktail at the Meadows by Richmond Homes. Now, Richmond is the only builder out here currently in this Blacktail neighborhood. But one thing that I really like about the homes that they're building out there, I'll show you up here on the other tab. Not only are they building like a ton of 3-car garages out there, which is an important factor here in Colorado, definitely not necessary, but it is a good thing if it's possible for you within your budget. What I always tell people is that a 2-car in Colorado quickly becomes a 1-car, and a 3-car garage quickly becomes a 2-car. What do I mean by that? You put a snowblower, a couple bikes, some kid toys in one of the bays in the garage, you're not parking there anymore, right? So I say always opt for a 3-car if at all possible, because you're going to fill that side with some stuff and then you're going to have spaces for your 2 additional cars, which is great. What I love about Richmond is that, and this is something unique to this neighborhood and this builder that I haven't seen anyone else do yet. You guys see the size on this 3rd bay garage? This is actually RV parking. I want to say this is a 12-foot garage door, which normally they're about 8 feet. So one of the big issues in Colorado is people love having their campers and their RVs, but HOA communities won't allow you just to park those in front of your house. So you're stuck putting it in storage somewhere. But what I love about this community is that they are building these 3rd garages as an option with an RV garage here. So you can keep your RV at your house. And that is just a massive value add that is completely unique to this neighborhood and this builder. So I definitely wanted to point that out to you guys. The homes that you're going to be able to find here, base price wise, are going to start in that $800,000 to about $1 million range. When you're looking at any of these new build communities, some things that you should factor in would be, if you're doing a dirt start build, would be your lot premium, which can vary greatly, anywhere from $10,000 to $200,000 for all neighborhoods, not just saying this specifically. If a lot it's a really big lot with really good views, that's going to be a higher lot premium. Now, don't be scared by that $200,000 because that is an extreme circumstance. We have seen that, but there's going to be a range there. All right. Some other things you're going to have to consider are your design center costs. What I tell people is, hey, plan on adding about $75,000 to maybe $100,000 $100,000 for that design center if you're adding some things that you like, but you're also not getting too crazy. So again, base prices out here are going to be anywhere from $800,000 to about $1 million. Now let's jump over to Google Earth and show you guys just a little bit of a different perspective as far as this community. So let's get acquainted here before I start diving into it. So you guys can see Highway 25 going right up the middle. I-25, or Interstate 25 rather, not highway, is our primary north-south freeway here in Colorado that's going to run pretty much from the top to the bottom of the state. All right, so that's going to be one that you are on all of the time. Now, this also runs right down the middle of Castle Rock, as you can see right here. Now, anything on the west side of I-25 is primarily going to be the Meadows. This is the Meadows right over here, which, you know, when you're looking at it here, it takes up a pretty big footprint. And again, that's because I mentioned before, it's one of the earlier, more mature neighborhoods that you're going to have here in Castle Rock. Now, let's zoom in a little bit here because, you know, what I want you guys to really get a feel for here in Castle Rock, and I say this all the time in our videos, is how much of nature comes to you when you're in Castle Rock. So if I'm spinning this around here, you guys can see just the lay of the land. You see how much just elevation there is on these like rock formations and foothills that you have through here. And you really don't get this in a lot of the other typical suburban Denver metro cities. They're going to be very flat and feel like, you know, just a normal suburban area. But what's unique about Castle Rock is throughout the homes that we have here, you've got so much of this nature that is just all throughout the city, as you guys can see here, which really just, I mean, it makes it feel like you're living in Colorado, which, you know, sounds kind of silly, but it's very important for a lot of people that are moving out here. So I wanted to start off this video by just showing you guys just a feel of some of the landscape that you have here in Castle Rock, because it really is unique to the city, and you're not going to find this in every Denver metro city that we have here. All right, now a couple of other key features about the Meadows, which I really like. As you guys can see here, we've got multiple parks all throughout, really, I mean, the entire neighborhood. And you've got, like, you know, big parks like this one, this Bison Park that you've got right here, tennis courts and a couple big open fields. You've got a bunch of just the, you know, little like playground, neighborhood, open spaces and things like that. And then you've got a couple really awesome features. One of my favorite, which we've mentioned multiple times on this channel, is, let me find it here, Philip S. Miller Park. All right, so let me zoom in on this. We've got some awesome drone footage of this as well. But when you come down here, you're gonna see this park is huge, guys. You've got some big open fields. Inside this rec center, you've got a huge climbing wall and a ton of fun stuff for the kiddos. You've got this amphitheater entertainment area out here where they'll have food trucks come by and bands. And then as we come through over here, or I'm sorry, here's the amphitheater right here. So they'll have huge just community events that are out here. And then if you want a little more of some extreme adventures, we can come right here to this crazy obstacle course that they have here, which is super fun. I've personally done it. It's uber scary, but they are pretty safe about it, but it will definitely test your abilities, and you'll find out real fast if you have any fear of heights or not. So guys, this is just such a classic Colorado neighborhood. It's one of the most popular ones that you're going to find in Castle Rock. And one of my absolutely favorite things about the Meadows neighborhood is how close you are to the highway. So you're not close enough where you're going to have a bunch of highway noise or anything like that. But what I love is how easily accessible it is to get from your home to I-25. And then on I-25, you're taking that straight up to Denver, about 35 minutes. And it's maybe 5 minutes or less to get from your home onto the highway. So it's very quick access, whether you're going up north to Denver or down south to Colorado Springs. Now, some other key points about it, coming back over here, is you're going to see, again, here's the Meadows right here. You're very close. You're right in the middle, actually, to Old Town Castle Rock, or Old Downtown Castle Rock here on the south side, which we're showing some drone footage of that right now, but there's tons of just cool breweries, mom and pop shops and restaurants. Not a whole lot of chains down there. It's very walkable. They're going to have concerts in the park. That's where they have a really good farmers market in the spring and summertime. So that's just here, very easily accessible. And then up here on the north side, you're going to have the outlets. So you're going to have everything from, I don't know, like your H&M to North Face to your Nike outlet. It's a huge outdoor outlet shopping center. In addition to that, you're going to have your Whole Foods out there, your 24-hour fitness out there. Basically, all of the more new school, more chain type of places are going to be up there. So it's a very, very good blend of new commercial development and then, the older mom and pop, old town Castle Rock feel. And it really is a phenomenal blend of both. Now, last thing I want to show you specific to Blacktail at the Meadows. Keep in mind, this is date specific, but I'm on their website right now. I'm not going to quote rates to you, right? All of these are subject to change. You guys know the drill. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. However, I do want to point out just some of the crazy incentives that builders are offering right now to help combat the high interest rates that we're currently experiencing. So looking at just a few of these, right here, we've got 4.875 interest rate on some ARMs that they're offering. But then also what I love is when you're looking down here at some of these fixed rates, we're looking at a 5.75 30-year fixed rate, which is just absolutely crazy. Now, again, this is at the time of this video only. They're saying here specifically, you've got to be able to close by basically end of the year 2023. But I just wanted to use this as an example for you guys that are watching this to realize just, hey, we can still get great interest rates right now and still get great prices on homes. All right, now before we dive into the next community, guys, I gotta remind you that we are licensed real estate brokers. And as much as we love making these videos, we love more to help you with your real estate needs. So there should be a number popping up on the screen right now. So take a screenshot of that, take a picture of it on your TV, but give us a phone call, text message, or email, and we'd love to help you guys out. All right, let's get back to it. All right, now moving along, this one is going to have a little asterisk by it because technically this is in Castle Pines, not Castle Rock. But if you don't know, Castle Pines is just the little sister neighborhood that sits immediately north of Castle Rock. And in my opinion, the two are pretty interchangeable. It is both Douglas County school systems. They quite literally touch each other. So if you're in Castle Pines, you're going to be using all of the Castle Rock shopping and dining options and everything like that. So I wanted to put it in this video though, because the community is just too cool to ignore. So what is it? It is called the Canyons at Castle Pines. One thing I love about the Canyons here is, yes, it is a brand new community. They have a lot of homes built right now. So it's not just all dirt, but you don't quite have the maturity in there that you would in the Meadows. But you do have some absolutely amazing homes. And then I would say that the community amenities that they have more than make up for any lack of mature trees that you might have in the immediate surrounding areas. So a couple of the amenities that are some of my personal favorites, one of them is going to be what's called the Exchange. So right when you're pulling into the canyons, you're going to go under this cool bridge, covered bridge thing. That's just a really cool feature coming into the actual neighborhood. And then you're going to see this place called the Exchange, which is a coffee shop and lunch place and ultimately just a really cool neighborhood hangout. They have some really good avocado toast in there. So if you guys are out there with us checking out some new builds, definitely go get some avocado toast and some really, really good coffee as well. In addition to that, they have your traditional pool and fitness center areas. But then one other really cool thing that they're building as we speak is going to be kind of an adult lounge and restaurant and bar. So when you're talking like resort style master plan community, this is exactly the type of place that we're talking about. Let me jump over to the map here and we'll show you exactly where the Canyons is. And then we're also going to jump on the builder site to see what kind of homes they have out there and what sort of price points we're looking at. All right, now right here on trusty Google Maps, let's zoom out just a little bit. We're going to see I-25 here running north and south. Down here, this is where we've got the town of Castle Rock, right? The city of Castle Rock is right here. And then Castle Pines starts right here, just on the north side of Highway 85. But the area that we're talking about specifically is on the east side of the highway, right here. So all of this is going to be the Canyons at Castle Pines. Now, There's one primary builder out here, and that is Shea Homes. But what you're going to find down here, you do see this Tri-Point Homes, and these are just some paired homes that they have out there, but almost every single home out here is going to be a Shea home. And then there's one other builder out here, which we're going to show you here in just a little bit, Infinity Homes. Okay, this is ultra high-end, contemporary design, really just gorgeous modern homes. And we're actually going to show you a tour of that here after I'm done giving you guys some insight on the canyons. But coming over here to the builders page, here is a representation of just this initial kind of community center. So this is the exchange that I mentioned before, the avocado toast place, where you're going to find some awesome coffee and snacks and lunch and just a great place to go hang out. They have the pool here. There's a little stage in this big green area for just any sort of events or movies in the park that they do. And then right over here, the Canyon House. This is the adult lounge that I was talking about with bar and food right next to the pickleball courts, because you can't miss out on any pickleball right now. So when it comes to a sense of community that people actually use these amenities on, man, I don't know if there's one much better than the canyons. I honestly don't. Now, let's also talk some travel times and things like that. I mentioned this earlier, when I was mentioning, about 35 minutes to downtown Denver. Taking a look here, so at the canyon specifically, we've got Castle Rock. They say 10 minutes away. It's really more about 5 minutes. You're jumping on the highway, you're heading straight south, you're right there. Lone Tree, we've done videos on before. This is going to be one of the biggest commercial shopping centers that you're going to have in the immediate vicinity. Honestly, no matter where you move in the Denver metro area, you're going to find yourself in Lone Tree quite a bit, because we have Park Meadows Mall out there, which is one of the best malls that we have here in Colorado. In addition to that, it's just a ton of good restaurants that are out there, a great date night spot on the south side of town. If my wife and I are like going out on a date night, we'll typically go to Lone Tree, the Park Meadows area specifically, if we don't feel like going all the way to downtown Denver. So here, you're just 10 minutes away from that. We're 14 minutes away from the Denver Tech Center. You're 36 minutes away from the airport, and you're 38 minutes away from downtown Denver. So if you're looking on a map, guys, it may feel and look like you're far away from the airport, like you're far away from downtown. But in reality, with how close access you have to just jumping on the interstate, you're getting anywhere you need to go pretty fast. And on top of that, you're right near Skyridge Medical Center that is located in Lone Tree. So we have a lot of people moving here that are in the medical industry. And also a big draw to Lone Tree is the Charles Schwab campus is out there. So we get a lot of people that are in finance or in medical that absolutely love the canyons, because you're 10 minutes away from either one of those. Let's jump over and check out some of the homes that we have here at the canyons. Here are the Tri-Point paired homes that I was mentioning. With this, they're starting from the 600s to 800s. Okay, now again, this is base price. Coming over here into Shea Homes, they're going to have a few different collections with different styles of homes and different price points. So here at the Reserve Collection, you're starting around the 800s. Here at the Gallery, you're starting in the 8 to 900s. Here in the Retreat Collection, you're starting in the $900 to $1 million range. And then you've got the Luxe Collection, which is their big, more contemporary style, modern farmhouse look. Everyone loves like this style of home out here. And these are starting from around the $1 million range. And then lastly, we're moving into the Infinity property homes that are going to be right around like the high 1 millions into the 2s. So while we're on this, I want to cut to some of our home tours here of one of the Infinity properties, so you guys can check out just how gorgeous these homes are. And this is one thing that I absolutely love we're starting to see more of in Colorado, is the ultra modern contemporary style. We haven't had a ton of that in the past 10 years. And I'd say really in the past 5 years or so, you've started to see more and more builders building that style out here, which I just personally love. So take a look at some of the Infinity properties. You're going to love them. All right, moving right along, we are going to go a little bit further south of Castle Rock, and we're going to go into the Montaine Community. Now, this is one that we did a full vlog tour on not too long ago, so we'll put a link to that in the description below. So let me jump over to the map here, take a look at exactly where we're at, and then we'll dive into the community a bit. All right, so giving us some context here. Here's the Meadows, that first neighborhood that we talked about. Here's our I-25. Here is that southern downtown Castle Rock area. We're a little bit further south right here down the highway, and then this is where we are going to find Montaine. Now, there is one primary builder out in Montaine, that is Toll Brothers, and they are a very, very popular builder out here in Colorado, and it's also one of the most desired by a lot of people. There is one other little bit smaller builder in there called Wonderland Homes, but Montaine is pretty much a Toll Brothers collection community. Now, dive in here over to this site. I want to show you guys just some of the cool video that they have here. You guys can see all the green landscape that they have here. And let me pause on this real quick, because this is going to give us some really good context, again, just where Castle Rock is exactly. So we've got Castle Rock almost smack dab in the middle between Denver, 31 miles, and Colorado Springs, 40 miles. So you see a lot of people that live in Castle Rock will either live and work in Castle Rock, or they'll work in Colorado Springs and commute, or a lot of times they'll work in Denver and commute, because it is so centrally located to either one of those. So that's just one of the big pros of Castle Rock in general. And then right here, you'll see that Montaine is on the south side of the community. Here's what the full community is going to look like, but they still have a ton of building to do. And right here, I'll pause it. So the Regency section that they're talking about right here, this is a 55 and up community. They have some amazing homes out there. They have an amazing clubhouse that is fully built and operational right now. The other clubhouse for the all ages side, which is going to be up here, they said it was going to be done in fall time. I don't think it's done yet, but they're getting very close. I would count on it being available for springtime of next year, but it's not quite there yet. So this community is still very much new and growing, but it is nice knowing that you have this 55 and up community here. I'd put this emphasis on active adult, because when we were down there, man, people were down there swimming. They were down there playing pickleball. It was definitely active. So all of this is already built. It looks just like this. It is a very, very, very cool spot. We're going to take a look here at some of the everything that they're building right now. And again, they're getting very close. The structure is all up. I think they're just doing the finishing touches on the pool and the landscape before this is open in the springtime. But tons of trails down here, tons of open space. This is just Castle Rock in general. All the communities that have been built out here have been built with nature and open space in mind. So Montaine is no exception, guys. And again, the homes that you're going to find out there through Toll Brothers are just absolutely stunning. They have some of the top models that people look for in the entire state. Montaine has a ton of good going for it. You know, as far as any potential cons of living down there, we've helped a few clients that have been very interested in Montaine. Some of the feedback that we've heard is, hey, even if it's just, 5 minutes south of the main heart of Castle Rock where the outlet centers are and stuff, some people felt like just it might be a little bit too far. But if those 5 extra minutes don't bother you, it's a phenomenal option for a lot of us. Again, with just some people like being out of the hustle and bustle a little bit. They like being further away from the outlet malls and the downtown area. So if that's you, this could be a really, really good option. Now, before we leave Montaine, I want you guys to take a look at one of the most popular Toll Brothers models that they have. This one's always a showstopper for you guys. So let's take a look. All right, now moving on to our final community. We're going to change locations a little bit. We're going to get off I-25 and we are going to head more to the east, the northeast side of Castle Rock. And this community is called McArthur. Now, jumping over to our map, let's take a look at exactly where we are. Now, I'm actually going to jump over. Here is McArthur. Okay, now to reorient ourselves, let's take a look. So here we've got I-25, as you guys are more than familiar with right now. We've got the outlet malls right over here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take just a quick little jaunt over east. We're going to head north just a touch on this road, Crowfoot Valley, and then we're going to see McArthur right here. Now, this is getting very, very close to Parker. As a matter of fact, right about here is the cutoff for Parker. So you go much more north of this, and this is just the South Parker side, okay? Now, you're still close to the highway, so there still is close highway access, which is a huge benefit. But what is kind of nice is you're getting off the highway a little bit. So we're a little bit off the beaten path, but not by much. You're still very close. You have 8-minute drive or 5-minute drive to Target and Walmart and those sort of things. So still have everything that you could possibly need over there. Now, jumping over here to the builder site, the whole thing with McArthur is nature and trails and open space, all right? So here you're going to see that they have 13 miles of mountain bike trails, and these are actually legitimate mountain bike trails. And this isn't just biking, it's obviously just like walking and stuff like that, which is really cool. Again, this is Colorado, guys. It is just outdoor activities, work hard, play hard here. That's the whole vibe that people get. One of the key features about McArthur is their clubhouse, and staying true to the whole like mountain bike theme that they have out there. This is actually called the Spoke, and you can have events here. There's again, like just pool. There's an amazing gym there, which I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute. We were out there touring with some clients not too long ago, and the gym was by far the best clubhouse gym that I've ever been inside. And then you guys can see right here, this is a lot of the landscape that you're going to have out there. You're not going to have a whole ton of mountain views, although some of these homes will have views of Pikes Peak, but you're going to have a lot of this like open space, like valleys and just really cool, like breathtaking scenes. Because you're on the northeast side, you're a little bit further away from the mountains. And let's jump over to Google Earth to show you guys just what some of that is going to be. Now, again, you guys can see this is not updated. These are old images right here. It does not look like this anymore. But let's go ahead and go down to 3D mode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this around so you guys can see what I mean by the mountain views here. So here you've got Pikes Peak off in the distance. So with a lot of these homes, depending on the way that it's facing, obviously, you're going to be able to have views of that. And then, you know, coming down here a little bit more, you know, you are going to have some distant, you know, landscape views of the mountains, which are cool, right? But then if you're not facing the mountains, maybe you have a home that the back faces east. Here's what's cool. Even if you're not facing the mountains, you still have some very, very cool shots of these gullies and valleys, and this is full of trees. And a lot of this is where you're going to see those mountain bike trails that they have going through the whole McArthur area. Now, coming back here to the clubhouse that we've got, check this out. So this is just obviously a graphic representation of the clubhouse, but let's go ahead and jump inside here. And you've got the pool and everything, which again, all of this is built. We're going to head inside, and I'm going to take you guys down into the clubhouse. All right. So this is the event space. You guys can rent this for any, like, you know, birthday parties, private events, anything like that. Now, all right. Now these pictures do not do it justice, but it is close. So first of all, if you're a gym person, all of the equipment and machines, it's all plate loaded. It's very heavy duty from a true lifter. You guys will absolutely love it. They've got some really nice Pelotons. They've got some nice Peloton treadmills. They have stair mills in here. And then really nice dumbbell area. The dumbbell area is actually over here. They go up to 80 pounds. But then right here, what they don't show is a massive squat rack and overhead cable systems and stuff. It is so cool from a lifter's perspective. It's amazing. And then one of the best things is this little area back here. It doesn't show it in this, but this is like a kids area with a little gate and everything. So if you're in here coming to work out, you can bring your kids, you can put them in there. There's toys and stuff for them to play with, nothing they can hurt themselves on. And they're just here working out or hanging out in the gym while you work out. So as a parent, as someone who is in these clubhouses all the time, I have never seen one like this at all. So this was one of the top features of this whole place, which I just thought was so cool. I wanted to show it to you guys on here. All right, so jumping over here to this video on the builder site, this is going to give you guys some really good perspective as far as just the landscape and lay of the land that they have out there. Because again, you're not in all that Castle Rock landscape that we mentioned earlier. It's a little bit different. It's a little more flat, but again, you still have so many of these just cool valleys and just different Castle Rock type of nature, but it still feels very Colorado, which is what you guys are looking for. So, all right, now jumping over here, let's dive into some of the homes that we're going to find. Average prices are going to start around that $800,000 to $1 million mark again. And we've got multiple builders that are out here in McArthur, unlike some of the other communities that we were diving into. So we're going to have David Weekley Homes. We're going to have Toll Brothers homes out here. We just talked about that. We're going to have Taylor Morrison homes that are out here. One thing that some of these guys are offering, optional finished basements. Now, almost all homes in Colorado are going to have a basement that comes with it. A lot of builders won't even finish the basement at all. Once in a while, you'll come across some builders, or maybe they're just offering a special incentive during a special time where they are offering finished basements. Taylor Morrison is one of them. We have Lennar that's out here, also very popular, and then David Weekley, like I mentioned before. And again, just to recap, you're looking at around $800,000 to $1 million base price. And a lot of these will include, the lot premiums. Some of them don't already include the lot premiums. When we're looking at any of these communities in general, one important thing to remember is that all these builders are going to have different standards and processes, right? They're all going to be offering different lender incentives at different times. The important thing to realize is just that, hey, it's about just having the conversation, right? I know a lot of people, they're just scared of high interest rates right now. And that's why a ton of our buyers are going with new builds. A lot of times these new builds are cheaper or less expensive than pre-existing homes, and you don't have the competition that you had over these 3 years ago. So there is a lot more incentive. But then on top of that, the incentives that these builders are offering in order for you to buy down the interest rate, we're getting buyers that are getting amazing homes at amazing prices at still very, very good interest rates. So we're seeing a lot of people decide to go this route. And what a lot of these builders have, almost all of them, as a matter of fact, depending on your timeline, are going to be two types of homes that you can purchase. It's either going to be what's called a spec or inventory home, meaning that these builders have chosen colors, the finishes, the options. They're building the home currently. It's usually almost done or ready to move in. It might be 3 months out. It might be 3 weeks out. It might be ready right now. But what I like about that is you still get a brand new home and you know the price that you're going to close at, and you don't have to wait for 12 or 14 months for them to build a home. So with all those things considered, I love the spec home or inventory home option if you're on a tighter timeline. Now, if you're on a longer timeline or you want just more of a custom built home, you're looking at that 12 to 14 month range from a dirt start build to being finished. You're also going to have those lot premiums that I talked about earlier, as well as design center finish options, right? But hey, the bonus is that you get to choose all of the things that you want in the house: the flooring, the railing, the countertops, the door hardware, all of that stuff that you guys, like picking out, you get to pick on your own. So depending on your timeline, depending on your budget, there are a ton of options out there for you, which are a lot of what we will discuss when you guys reach out by calling the number that's popping up on the screen right now on your initial Zoom call, guys, because again, we are licensed real estate brokers and we do this every single day with you guys, and we absolutely love doing it. So take a screenshot, take a picture, write our number down, reach out, guys. We'd love to connect with you. Appreciate you guys hanging there with me on this one. I always love doing these kind of map tours where we can do deep dives into these neighborhoods and really just give you guys a really good in-depth perspective as far as what it's like living in each of these communities. But as always, appreciate you guys watching. See you in the next one.